Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Coach Andres with coachingwithundress.com. And ladies, thank you for tuning in. We're going to stick with the good, optimistic topic today, and it is green flags. 4 green flags to pay attention to value, to attract, to want, to manifest in the dating world. We understand red flags. If you haven't seen that, check out my other videos on that. But we're going to talk about 4 green flags. Let's get right into it. He takes care of you before you even need to ask. And I don't want to go to the farthest level of, you should have known that. You should know what I'm thinking. We're not going to go to that. No, we're not doing that. I'm saying in the early stages of dating, he takes care of something before you even need to ask because he's listened to you. He's paying attention. He knows to a point where when you're busy, he doesn't bother you. He knows when you might need some help, he's there to help and offer it. He understands who you are as a person with your boundaries and your availabilities, and he complements that. He doesn't suffocate it, doesn't try to control it. He adapts to your lifestyle, to your scheduling. That's a form of knowing what you need before even asking to it. Knowing that not to overblow up my phone when I'm out with the girls, giving me that space. Knowing that Sundays with the family, I don't really talk on the phone. Knowing I work late, so, don't put that pressure onto me about responding so quickly. Understanding if I left you on red and haven't responded, it's because I'm busy. Again, understanding your needs before you even have to ask that. It can go to that point, and it can go to another level of, he knows what makes you feel uncomfortable. He knows when you mention something in the past, he's listened to it, so he makes sure it doesn't trigger you, in a sense. He's aware of it. Someone who's very present, patient, and a good listener, not only is it a great green flag for the relationship, it shows a level of emotional intelligence. That EQ, that emotional awareness, that emotional stability that you ladies want in a man and a man wants in a woman. He's taking notes on what's important to you. He notices that you get uncomfortable in certain settings and wants to make sure you're all right, or warns you ahead of time. Or just so you know, I know you're kind of uncomfortable meeting a lot of people at once, but yeah, it's a family event. If you don't want to make it, it's cool, but if you can, that'd be great. He kind of prepares you for things that you know that are important for him or for us, and includes you in the process without making the decisions for you. It can be from the simplest thing to making sure you're warm. Hey, you should bring a jacket. I think it's going to get cold tonight. To, meeting the family or meeting the friends or staying out late when you know that she needs to be up early. He listens. He pays attention to it. And number 3 on the green flag, he's clear with his intention. His intention is consistent and clear, not constant reassuring, explaining, texting, talking, voice. There's consistency and then there's constancy. Constancy is exhausting. Snapchatting me all day. Shut up. Consistency. He's consistently clear with his intention. He's consistently clear with his communication. Even to a point where he's not trying to rush the relationship, but basically trying to include and involve you in the process of things. That's great. I know what I'm looking for, but I'm in no rush to get there. I want this to go further, but let's see how it gets there where we both feel comfortable with it. Clear in sense also could be where I'm looking for a serious relationship towards maybe having kids one day. When a guy is unapologetic about what he wants and what he's looking for, that's a green flag because he knows he's not trying to BS you. He's not trying to play games. He's already done those things. He's already played out of his system. He's already had enough unhealthy relationships or so. He's like, I know what I'm looking for. I'm not rushing it with you, and I'm not forcing it, and I'm not assuming that we're going to get there. But yeah, my goal in the next couple of years is kids or marriage. I'm definitely open for that. Or as in the sense that I don't plan on, moving career-wise. This is where I want to be. Or I want to move for this career opportunity. What do you think about that? That might test the relationship, but the idea is clear intention, clear communication with what he wants with you. And let's see how that can grow naturally. The main idea about clear intention and clear communication is I always tell my clients, you don't want to decode things. You don't want to translate scenarios. You don't want to have to nitpick on what does this really mean. And so an indecisiveness is, indecision is decision, right? So when a man's clear with his intention, clear with his communication, it's all about the follow through. It's all about keeping my word. And if I can't, I'm going to explain why. If I can't make it tonight, I'm going to explain why. If I have to reschedule, I'm going to keep you involved on why. I don't want to make room for gaps or cracks in our relationship. And it's not to a point where like, I'm going to feel so bad about it. No, I want to make sure, hey, listen, I really got to kill this deadline for work. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you. Can I? Okay, of course. Understandable. Again, a green flag where some things in life are going to be changed or rescheduled or canceled or misled or miscommunication. That's going to happen. I don't care how green the flag is. I don't care how awesome the guy. It's going to happen. But if he communicates clearly, clear intent to explain to you, that's great because it's inevitable for those situations. And that way he not only values who you are as his girlfriend, but you and your time, your availability. So again, these are huge green flags. Number 4 is interesting. Appropriate sharing, keyword appropriate. I always say in the beginning stages of dating and when you get serious with someone, own your story, own it. Don't be embarrassed by it. Was it challenging? Yes. Did it suck? Maybe. Own it though. That's made you who you are. And you to be at this dating table or this dating app, you are resilient and believe in what you have to offer is worth love in a relationship. That's courageous. That's attractive. That's empowering. Own your story. But appropriate sharing as a green flag is not oversharing everything so quickly. A green flag where a guy feels the time of almost like that tennis metaphor. I would love to share a chapter in my life, and until I feel like you want to share yours, no rush, then I'll share another chapter. But if I give you my whole book before you give me one page, that's very emotionally dependent on that person. And that's not a green flag. Appropriate sharing is letting the conversation resolve in its own interest, but also be open to talk about anything and everything to a certain extent. I mean, I could say firsthand, personal story, personal experience. It's sometimes to a point where people ask about my situation. And I'm like, I lost my father, in senior year of high school. And I kind of like when they ask about my mom and dad, what happened, I'd say that. I don't go into detail though. That person doesn't deserve it yet. But I admire and appreciate their interest. Oh, your mom? So where's your dad? I bring up just that, and they always say, I'm so sorry. It's like, it's okay. It's great. He's a great man. But I don't go into, and then 6 months of that, I miss my dad. Jeez, that's inappropriate sharing. They don't deserve to hear that. They don't deserve that personal information. They don't deserve that vulnerability. So when someone has an appropriate way of sharing things, it's more like, I don't want to seem like I'm rejecting your question. I'm going to share what I feel comfortable with, and I would love to share more with it if this keeps on going in the right way. That is healthy in a sense, and that should be reciprocal and mutual between two of you. Number 4, green flags in early stages of dating. Shared values and interests in life, relationships, goals, future plans. You have shared values and interests. When you can be that open and confident about what you respect as in your values, your standards, your morals, your interests, that's when you know you come to a level of emotional maturity where you're not scared of it, you're not vulnerable, you're not uncomfortable with it. You own up. You're just like, okay, wow. And I always tell my clients to a situation over and over, a boy doesn't become a man based on age, strength, or a paycheck. It's not a man. No. Those things are expendable. A boy becomes a man when they have that emotional maturity, stability, intelligence to get over themselves. Confidence, not cockiness. Pride, not ego. Open-minded, not stubbornness. Not caring about being right. I need the upper hand. That's not a man. That's a boy looking like a man. So when a guy comes up to a point where he's open about his values, he's open about his morals, he's open about his interests, and we got something in common between both of us, if it's religion, if it's politics, if it's kids, if it's family, if it's work, if it's cultural, if it's anything, that's a great green flag, because you now are seeing someone who's not holding themselves back. They've gone through enough challenges in life or certain adversities to realize, why do I always get in my own way? Have I not found my voice? Do I not know who I am anymore? So when you find someone who is like that, very honest about that, pure about that, that's a great green flag that you want to be around. That's the goal in the sense of not just for a relationship, but I'd say in personal relationships with yourself. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave one. I always respond to them myself. And if you're interested in any coaching sessions, leave a comment. I'm always here to help. coachingwithundress.com. Take care.